Good day, Merry Meet. My name is Glennis, and I am the Witch of Whitetail Hollow. I want to warmly welcome you to my channel. I want to thank you for joining me. This is a video response to someone who asked if I had a particular spell for retrieving stolen items. I have to tell you, I have to preface this by saying there are several different scenarios depending on where you are in what and how you practice. And since I don't really know, I'm going to just touch bases on a little bit of everything. And if I throw more things in there, then I guess at least you know. But now with my own experience, I'm going to just speak of my own experience with a lost item. Now, I know I've probably told you guys about this before, but to retrieve a lost item, whether it's yours or someone else's, really you don't need anything but your energy and your intention. Build the energy up in your hands as you know how. And I do it by, I will anoint my hands. It doesn't matter what you anoint your hands with, but I will anoint my hands and rub and build and work on energy and ask whatever god or goddess, spirit guides, whoever it is that you're working with, and ask them, help me find this particular lost item. Now, I know in your case it's been stolen, but I kind of want to go through this. And usually within a day, if you ask your spirit guides, your god, your goddesses, and you lay it out there and you just simply ask. Of course, that's your first path of least resistance. Please return my stolen and or lost, because I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? I want my items returned to me. Personally, I have had a lot of items stolen in the last 6-8 months or so. And I honestly didn't want them back. Once someone with ill intentions, this is just my very humble opinion, once someone with ill intentions like that, that are going around stealing from me, the next person, the next person, the next person, I don't want my stuff back. I really don't. I would sooner ask my God, my goddesses, my spirit guides to find a happy, healthy way of replacing these items. Okay. At that point in time, when I first discovered they had been stolen, I went from 0 to 60 in like 30 seconds. And it wasn't a pretty sight. I can tell you it was not a pretty sight. And the person that has stolen the items, I hope that they enjoy them. And I'm going to leave it at that. But since then, 6-8 months now, all of the items that were stolen have been replaced, either by someone here locally that said, okay, here, this was stolen from you. This is the same thing. I'll give it to you at half price. I know it's a matter of me putting my own money out and replacing the item, but you know what, you have to think, do you really want something as intimate as what you had stolen returned to you after? I personally wouldn't. That's just me. So that's your first path, is just to build your energy up. Whether you go into ritual or not, I really don't know. I would ask my spirit guide, my God, my goddess, whoever it is that you're working with, to find a way for these items to be returned to you. And I would like to say, if you have one thing returned to you, whether it be by the person that you think or could have stolen it, then you need to go back to your spirit guide, whoever it is that you ask for help, and thank them. No matter what, thank them. Your second avenue of something that you can do is to simply ask Saint Anthony to return your items to you. I personally don't do a lot of saint work. I have done in the past before, but you certainly could ask Saint Anthony um, just a daily novena candle. Tell him how heartbroken you are. You want your items returned. But again, it's one of those things where if whether you perceive the person who stole it from you, or whether you have a great aunt or uncle or whoever starts gifting you, well, I heard you lost some things. Here's something to replace it. In my mind, that is it coming back to you, whether it's the person that stole it or not. To me, it makes no difference as long as it is coming back to you. And again, thank the universe for it returning to you. Now, the third thing that you could do, and it is definitely spell work. And again, I don't know where you are in the greater scheme of how you practice, but before I do spell work, which is why I caution everyone here on YouTube, you may see me putting a few things together, anointing a few things, and, carrying on with my spell, no matter what kind of a spell it is. But what you should also take into consideration is that I have fasted for 24 hours except for water. I have taken a deep, purifying, cleansing bath. I have worked my area. I have contacted my spirit guides, and then I will start going into spell work. So I know I have cleansed myself. I have done everything possible to make a successful spell. I never, ever go into spell work, okay, I'm going to whip it up and that's what I'm going to do. I build energy sometimes a day, 2 days, a month, 6 months. It really totally depends on you and your situation. Sometimes you have help from friends. Like I had help from a very, very good friend with my curse of Whitetail Hollow that has worked very well, and I can't be any happier. But your third alternative is to prepare for spell work. Again, fast, cleanse, so many things to do ahead of time, and ask your God and your goddess to bind this particular individual. Take three coffin nails if you have them. If you don't, you can kind of wing it with, just a regular nail. Find, if you can, now this is the old ways. This is totally old ways. Find a pear tree. If you have a pear tree in your area, I have no clue where you are. Be very careful. If you don't have a pear tree, of course you can find another tree. You want to find a tree that is fast growing for your area. For here, it would be like a sweet gum tree, a pine tree, pear tree, of course, is old ways. But find a tree, fast growing tree. Pear tree is best. Take your 3 coffin nails, and with the first coffin nail, go to the tree, face east, very, very early in the morning before the sun comes up, and basically do a binding. Thief, I bind you with my first nail. Tap, tap, tap with my first nail. You can get as dramatic or not dramatic as you want to. I find when I'm doing bindings, I try to keep my emotions under control. So I know where my energy is going. I bind my first nail, which I drive into your skull and into your brain. So this will bother you until you return my items to me, or however you want to say it. With the second nail, give it a little tap. I drive and I bind this into your heart and your lungs, so that you your heart will ache. So you will hurt when you speak to breathe out of your lungs, whether it be truth or a lie, until my items are returned to me. And of course, the third one at the bottom, I bind your feet so that you will never steal from me again. Return my items to me, and I will release these 3 bindings. And no matter if the person who stole the items, or if someone, like I had in my situation, I had a storekeeper say, well, I heard you, not lost, but your things were stolen. And although I can't give it to you for free, here it is virtually for free. No matter if it's returned to you, whatever fashion, you need to go back to the same tree, and starting at the third one, take each coffin nail out and release your bindings if these things come back to you. I personally, I would go by way of asking my spirit guide, my God, my goddess, like I said, whoever, and let them know your heart aches, you miss your things. The second, St. Anthony, and of course the third is so severe, and it's a binding. That's your avenues. But I just want to say, when you do get your items back in whatever fashion you receive them, of course, cleanse them and consecrate them, and then bind them to you. So no matter if someone comes in and steals from you, or whether you have lost it, then that particular item, it might be just a very, very small thing, that particular item is bound to you, and will, if you ask, it will make its way back to you. And that's my best advice that I can give to you. If you guys have any other questions, I hope that I can answer you. I will put in, maybe like a St. Anthony prayer below. Again, this is not something that I work with Saint Expedite, and I don't extensively work with saints. So if this is your comfort level, then you go for it. But if you guys have any other questions or anything else that you want or need to know, I'm certainly not the know-all be-all of everything, but I certainly will give it my best shot from a lifelong experience. I hope you guys have a wonderful, awesome day. Merry part, and I hope to merry meet again. Goodbye, guys.